Hello and welcome to my channel Inspiring Life Changes. My name is Colette and I'm here to do a reading today for all you Taurians out there. It is just a general reading, so it's going to be for Taurus of Sun, Moon, Rising and Venus. If you don't know where those placements are in your astrological chart, I will be putting a link down below so that you can go and check them out. Like I said, it is just a general reading, so if it doesn't resonate with you, if you don't feel that it's your reading, you could always go and have a look at the other signs that you will be able to find out if you don't know already through the link that I will put down below in the description box. So I would like to start this reading with some astrology, because the astrology at the moment is particularly intense and very specific. There's a lot of stuff going on with Mercury going through Scorpio, and for Taurus, that placement in particular is the 7th house and is ruled by Libra. And Libra is all about relationships, it's about balance, it's about harmony, it's about justice, it's about bringing things together in a sense of balance and harmony, but particularly relationships, because relationships are what Libra is all about, the sign of Libra. But Scorpio, being Mercury being in Scorpio in that 7th house, is what Mercury is doing, being the detective at the moment, retrograde in Scorpio. He's digging down deep into the underworld, into the unknown, into the depths, into the kind of subconscious realm, the deeper emotional realm. He's bringing up fears to do with relationships, and he's also possibly bringing back people from the past as well, which can happen during Mercury retrogrades. And particularly I feel for Taurians, because it is all about the 7th house and relationships. So Taurus could be finding people that they haven't spoken to for a long time, many years even, just suddenly reappearing in their lives, and just kind of saying hi, how are you, catching up. And there could be elements of that, and also elements of kind of ending relationships as well, things kind of coming to a head and moving on from things, because we also have Neptune in Pisces at the moment, which for Taurus all takes place within the 11th house of friendships, ruled by Aquarius. It's a house of Aquarius, so it's friendships ruled by Uranus. It's to do with innovation, sudden changes, kind of things just happening out of the blue. So there could also be elements of that being kind of trining over to Scorpio at the moment, because they're both water signs, so there could well be that kind of experience happening in Taurus's life at present. Not to mention, of course, we have recently had a full moon in Taurus, and Taurus is the first house, for Tauruses. And it's all about, the 2nd house itself is all about our values, our possessions, our wants. It rules the financial world, it rules the environment, it rules the earthly physical realm, about building things, making things. So with the sun in Scorpio and the full moon in Taurus as an opposition, the masculine and the feminine, there has been this kind of element of, again, to do with balance and relationships, that kind of balancing things out, opposing things. Also the Mercury retrograde that's happening still. Mercury has just gone right over the sun on the 11th. I did a video which you could go and check out, called the 1111 portal, Sun conjunct Mercury retrograde in Scorpio and full moon in Taurus. I kind of put it all together in one video because all the energy was kind of so compacted still, just from the 11th portal and the 12th when the full moon was. The energies had kind of hardly changed really, so it was all kind of mixing together, and this real kind of cauldron of kind of different magical opening doors and things like that. You know, there was just this really strong kind of real intense 2 days of those energies taking place. And the full moon being in Taurus has been exalted because the moon loves to be in Taurus. They get on really well because Taurus is ruled by Venus, and Venus is the planet of love and beauty. And the moon has been kind of reflecting that side of us and trying to say to us, like, you know, do you know what your desires are? Do you know what you want? Are you fully aware? And at the same time, we have Uranus in Taurus as well. So there is this kind of element of unexpected change and just kind of, bolts out the blue, people knocking on your door that you haven't seen for a long time, that kind of thing. Just kind of weird and wacky events that you're not kind of expecting, just suddenly maybe happening to you. But also related to the Scorpio Mercury, bringing up some fears as well, some deep held feelings of like, things that you are still feeling now as an adult that may well have been put there as a child. And Mercury is kind of highlighting these things as well, having just been kind of blasted by the sun. It's almost like the sun has kind of given Mercury a light to go down and light his path in the underworld before he kind of has to dive down into the deep dark depth of the unknown realm of scorpionic feelings. And so with the with all that kind of mixture of energies that's going on with the full moon, like I said, I have done another video on that, so I don't want to go too in depth into all of that that's happening as well. But we also have Sagittarius, we have Jupiter in Sagittarius, and Venus in Sagittarius. And for Taurians, Sagittarius is the 8th house, which is all the scorpionic stuff. So again, it's kind of really kind of highlighting that whole issue of birth, death, rebirth, things that we keep hidden, the unknown realm. And it's taking place in Sagittarius, which is all to do with a higher mind. And also you've got Mercury in Scorpio being of the mind as well, and of the logic. And Mercury does not do well in water signs. It's been in all the water signs. It's retrograded this year through all the water signs. So Mercury has been in this kind of realm of deep water, this kind of sploshing about, kind of the mind has kind of been just kind of not being able to think. It's like being in a big how can you put it, like just like being in a big tank of water, or like, you know, for Pisces, when it was in Pisces, it was like being in an ocean, just kind of floundering about. In Cancer, it was more kind of to do with a home and kind of the emotional issues there from relationships as well. And maybe not quite so deep, and you know, the emotions don't quite run as deep and dark as they do in Scorpio, which is what Mercury's in now, and it's kind of really trying to balance the two out, especially with this Sagittarius being our Scorpio house. We really are kind of feeling those emotions coming up and coming back for us, and really, like, you know, being told, like, you know, this is the time, Taurus, when you really have to kind of take a good look at what needs to be gone, what you need to go, what you can keep, what is worth keeping, what is of value to you, what do you feel is worthy, what is, you know, what do you want to put your time, your effort, your energy into. Is it going to be rewarding for you? Is it going to fulfill you? Is it going to sustain you? Because that's really what the full moon in Taurus has been asking, is for us to kind of look at our physical needs, our bodily needs, our kind of like, you know, environmental needs as well on a much bigger scale. So that's what I have for you, Tauruses, astrologically. For the first card that I pulled out is very interesting as well, and I sat here. This is the Namaste Blessing cards, by the way, by Carmine Salerno. I'll get it right eventually. I sat here and I must have shuffled and shuffled and shuffled and shuffled, and nothing came out for a good 2-3 minutes. And then the card that did come out eventually is this card here, which is just a beautiful card of 2 trees intertwined. And it is very, very much to do with what I've just been talking about. And the reason I'm putting it upside down is because literally one of the first things that I saw was that if you turn it upside down, there is this heart shape that has been created by these 2 trees intertwined, growing together. But it's interesting that they haven't created it up here. It's kind of lower down, and you have to turn it upside down to see it. But it is there. At least I think it's there. I can see it. And the card itself is literally called A Blessing in Relationship. A current relationship is reflecting something that is wounded inside you. A wound from long ago, perhaps even from a past life. Look within. Find the part of you that is wounded and send it love. All will heal and you will be stronger and wiser for it. I don't know if you want to snapshot that particular card so you can go back and look at it later. So I'll move it over at the reflection. But it is so apt, I thought, when I saw it, for everything that's going on at the moment for Tauruses, with all this Scorpio stuff, Libra relationships, 7th house, 8th house energy, moon in Taurus. It is all so apt. So, the bulk of the reading will be done with the Liz Green and Juliet Sherman Burke Greek Mythic Tarot cards. And the first card out for Taurus today, and this was quite amusing as well, because when I shuffled the deck, this fell out. And I thought, not sure about that. I'm not sure about how that came out. It didn't feel right. So I put it back in the deck and said, basically, you know, if it comes out, then it comes out. So carried on shuffling, and what would happen, this card came flying out again, and it was just like, that's your message, take it. So we start the reading off, Taurus, with the Page of Pentacles, which really kind of is a very Taurian card. Very Taurian card. It is very full moon in Taurus energy. Our value, our worth. Here he is, this young page, male or female, doesn't make any difference. Gender isn't the issue here. It's the message in the card, but it's a young energy. It's an energy that is yet to reach maturity, so it needs to be taken care of. Just like each of these little seedlings here, which for me represent a new future. Each of these is a little seedling that you're planting for your future, for growth. And being at the very heart of the reading, I would say that this is about growth. It's about the growth of Taurians, how what we're going through. I keep saying we because I am a Taurian, so I'm going to have to try and stop saying that. But what Tauruses are going through at this moment in time is this kind of regeneration. That's really what I'm getting from this. This regeneration, this regrowth, this rebirth, this re-evaluation, this Scorpio energy, this Mercury and Scorpio energy, I feel is very, very positive for Taurus. Very positive. Not only because it is our opposite sign, as Taurians, we have Scorpio opposite, So it does kind of sit well with us. And it's a water sign as well. So, you know, water and earth always balance out really nicely together. They work really well because water feeds earth. And earth just soaks up the water because that's what water wants to do. It wants to just kind of be soaked up and feel at home. So that's what kind of this Taurus energy is saying to me here. That, you know, the Mercury retrograde for the Taurus in Libra to do with our relationships is really very helpful, very revitalizing for us, in the sense that we are looking at things in a different way. There is growth here. There is kind of a new way of like change. I think again that's something to do with the kind of Uranus energy as well. Having Uranus in Taurus at the moment, there is big change happening there as well. But it's almost like a new way of looking at the world, even a new way of kind of realizing that there is a different way to do things, that we don't have to do things the way that we've always done it before. And one of the reasons that I'm saying that as well, and I'll bring these two cards out together, because what's in our head and what we are aware of, this is total Pluto, Scorpio energy. So what's in our head and what we're aware of is that we are going through this massive death. We are going through this huge change, transformation. And that death is something not to be feared, that, you know, you can have many deaths in a lifetime. You can go from being single to being in a relationship, which is in some way a death of your single self, particularly if that relationship goes on to become, you know, you become a wife, your title changes, you've kind of given, you've ended that cycle of who you were then, and you kind of moved into somebody else, and it is kind of a death. But in our society we tend not to see death as a good thing. We tend to see death as something that's morbid, and, you know, we don't honour it, we don't kind of recognise it for what it is. But death is really about change, literally. I tend to think of death even in the physical form, you know, it is just like leaving the body, the skin, and kind of, you know, moving on. I see it as the same as birth, except just the other way around. You come in and you go out, just different ways of doing it. So the sun's rising in the background here, and it's kind of saying, you know, that there is a new day dawning. And these people down here are kind of recognizing that, you know, you have to pay the ferryman, you have to pay the piper, if you like. You have to kind of honour and recognise that death isn't always as final as we think it is. And this for me is very much kind of Mercury, Scorpio energy. Rebirth. Out of this death there is going to be a rebirth. There's going to be something new that comes in. And of course, because it's to do with the 7th house of relationships, we do have this at the bottom. What we're not so aware of from the subconscious level is this reunion. This reunion that wants to take place. And it could be that there are relationships out there that are kind of trying to work themselves out with Taurus at the moment, because of where because it is Scorpio season, and it is, for us, it is that kind of time of rebirth and death and something, you know, ending things, beginning things. Each of these cups here, for me, it reminds me very much of the 6 of Cups as well. The card of the 6 of Cups in this card is very much about remorse in this deck. So it's very much about remorse and kind of nostalgia and this kind of yearning for something that you've lost, but wanting to kind of find peace with it at the same time. But these 3 cups here also represent the celebration, and the celebration is the reunion. They're coming back together after all the trials and the tribulations. These cups here, the trials and the tribulations, you kind of work through things, and there is happiness to be had. And this is what's underneath what's happening. And what came out with this card, it just kind of fell out. And I just thought, okay, you obviously want to be there as well. So I put it on with this card. It is a victory. So it's saying that there is relationships out there for Taurus, or for people who know Tauruses, in relationships with a Taurian. There is possible victory. Well, there is victory because it's come out the right way. So I'm going to say there is victory, that this can be worked through. It will be worked through, in fact, for the vast majority of Taurus out there who really want to put their time and their effort and their energy into a reunion. Not all Tauruses are going to, because some of it is also going to be kind of cutting through and releasing and removing those relationships that aren't working for people. But for people who want to carry on a relationship with the person that they've either had a relationship with, or they've had some time away from them, they're no longer in the same environment as them, this is saying there is victory. It can happen. It can happen. So kind of be more upbeat about it, be more kind of positive, be more, feel celebratory. This is a celebration, and this is a celebration as well. There is a celebration to be had here. This can lead on, I feel as though this is going to lead on to greater things with this here as well. It's going to lead on to greater things. But there is kind of still an element of it having to be kind of nurtured slowly. Slowly, I think, is the, like not rushing into things, like almost taking things back to the beginning and starting out again. And one of the reasons I say that as well is because this card is moving away, the Ace of Pentacles. And although the Pentacles is about finance, and it is about kind of working with money and financial needs, and kind of, for me, it's always been about what fulfills us and sustains us. And it is, again, it's a very kind of moon in Taurus. It's a very Taurian card. Can also relate to the other earth signs well, of Capricorn and Virgo, as can this card here as well. Any of the earth signs can. But also relationships need to be worked on. And I feel that this is kind of saying that this is going back to early stages. I know it's not the Ace of Cups, but I don't think it's the Ace of Cups, because I think that the feelings were already there. The feelings of love have been there for a long time. It's not been easy though. There has been struggle with this. But the Ace of Pentacles is saying to me that this is something that can be worked on in a different way. Again, the feeling that I got earlier, like it doesn't have to be done the same way anymore. That things can be changed up, moved forward. But it does have to be a slow, again, Pentacles, slow. Things like that are going to last, are things that are worked on with skill. There needs to be some skill involved here. It's not just a sense of, oh, now we're back together and that's it. It's like, you know, no. No, there needs to be skill involved here. For things to go to grow, to allow those things to grow. And I think there needs to also be a kind of mutual understanding of what you both want and need from a relationship as well. What it is that's going to sustain and fulfill you on a physical level as well as on an emotional level, because of the water, because this is Poseidon and he is literally in the water as well. So there is an emotional element to this card. But it is for me very much about what sustains, what fulfills you, what makes your soul sing in many ways as well. Okay, so as that energy moves away, we have the Queen of Cups moving in, who is totally immersed in her emotions. Totally. This is very much about going down into the depths of your feelings and this could have something to do with this relationship as well. Truly, you know, it's like this is how you're really going to have to work through your own feelings, Taurus. You're going to have to work through your emotional reactions to things, the things that kind of, I would say, trigger you to respond very emotionally. And you may get an element of feeling, and this could also have had something to do with the relationship previously as well. Feeling of like not emotionally being understood, that you weren't, that your emotions are so deep and you kind of know the person that you're with so well, you kind of almost wonder where one person starts and the other person finishes, and that's kind of what's come up for me here as well. It is a really strong bond, this relationship, really, really strong bond. Past lives, working through things together, because it's almost like you know you've got to. You can't escape it. You might have tried, but you can't. You can't escape it. If this is resonating for you on that level of a relationship that you are working with, then that's the message here. The message is you can't escape it. You might think you can, but it will just keep coming up. It will just keep coming up until you deal with it. Until you really kind of reflect on it. Why does this person make me feel this way? What is it about this person that makes me so emotional? Why is it that I don't feel as though I'm in control of my emotions and my feelings when I'm around this person? Why is it that I kind of, because the snakes here as well are kind of representative, and she's holding an apple in her hand as well, so there is this kind of representation of Eve here as well. The kind of maybe the temptress, and the snake kind of represents again scorpionic energy, sexual transformation, because a snake sheds its skin, so there is transformation there as well. And maybe that's what this person's here to do. Maybe the person is here to help you grow. Perhaps that's also what it's about. That the deaths that you go through with this person, or have been through with this person, are leading you to grow. Even though on an emotional level, you find it quite conflicting and what's the word? Conflicting. I wouldn't say constraining. That's not the word I'm looking for. The word I'm looking for is confrontational. It can be quite confrontational between the two of you. So those are the messages that I've got so far. I am going to pull some cards from the Gilded Tarot deck as well, Taurus. Sorry about I keep sniffing. I've been burning some sage, so that could have something to do with it. So I'm going to ask for some clarifying cards for the Page of Pentacles and the Death card, please. Sun, Moon, Rising, Taurus. What is the energy surrounding the Page of Pentacles and the Death card? Why are they here? What is the message for Taurus? What is the message for Taurus, please? What does Taurus need to know about the Death card and the Page of Pentacles? Page of Pentacles and the Death card. What is it that Taurus needs to be aware of at this time? Sometimes they just don't want to come out. Aha! Thank you. We have 3. No, we have 4. Okay. So I'm going to put that one there. And that one down there. This one over here. And this one over here. Okay, so we have between the Death card and the Page of Pentacles as a joining card, we have the 9 of Pentacles, which is a very nice card because the 9 of Pentacles is all about your self-esteem. It's about what you yourself have achieved. It's really about saying, you know, well done. Well done you for getting where you've got to. Look at all that you've achieved along the way. A card of kind of saying, you know, don't look at where you are without realizing how far you've come. You know, look back and say to yourself, wow, you know, look how far I have come. And this can be to do not just with kind of financially as well, but also to do with our own growth in this as well. Pentacles for me always kind of relates to growth. So it could have something to do with the growth that, you know, you've had to let go of things and move on and regrow and let go of things and move on. And, you know, kind of Pisces energy, Neptunian energy. Pisces is our 11th house, so we've had to let go of a lot to do with friendships in particular over this last few years. I'm trying to think when Neptune moved into Pisces. It's been quite a long time. It's been retrograde since the 21st of June this year. And it's about to go direct as well. And the reason that I'm talking about Pisces is because I do think that, you know, this kind of, these deaths that we have to go through, letting things go, transforming things, changing things, walking away from things, is very Neptune. It is that kind of hangman energy as well. It's that kind of surrender, sacrifice, let it go. So I feel that there has been You know, you've had to kind of go through that. Maybe even with this relationship itself, you know, there's been times where you've had to kind of really just walk away because there's been nothing else that you could do, Taurus. But in doing so, in allowing yourself to do that, you have kind of become a lot stronger within yourself. You've kind of found your own identity, if you like. You found what it is that makes you grow, rather than always kind of, in some ways, being the Queen of Cups who always wants to kind of keep everybody else satisfied and emotionally happy. It's kind of saying, like, you know, you've managed to do this for yourself. Look how well you've done. And the card that we have in between the Page of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups is Temperance. And Temperance, for me, again, I mean, it's just so beautifully linked, because it is like these two cups that she's holding, the two couple are holding here, are also here as well. Often they're shown as one being gold and one being silver, which is a representation of masculine and feminine energy. It doesn't have to be so, but it is kind of, you know, your traditional relationship, which is kind of being shown here as well. The traditional kind of the gold representing the masculine man and the sun, and the silver representing the feminine female energy. But Temperance for me also talks of this kind of, there's a magical element to Temperance, because she only exists within a relationship. You can only ever have temperance within a relationship. It doesn't have to be a personal relationship. But for me, the two cups are representation of kind of the heart, the gold and the silver, the masculine, the heart and the female heart, and the kind of connection between the two of them. And that you have to keep things flowing in a relationship, otherwise things just stagnate. You have to keep, like, you know, there's certain qualities that you have to have within a relationship. Honesty, trust being just a couple of them. But if they're not there, then it blocks the energies between two people. Because we pick up on things, especially with the Queen of Cups here, Queen of Cups energy. She's so intuitive and so instinctive and so kind of aware. Unfortunately, she's not always sure whether it's hers or somebody else's feelings that she's aware of, but the fact is she is. And so because of that, we kind of we know things instinctually that aren't necessarily being told to us. And if people hold back in relationships, if people keep secrets, if people keep things to themselves, it doesn't make for a good, healthy relationship. But here, Temperance has come out the right way. I'm not sure if that's the sun in the background. There's definitely a planet in the background there. It could be the sun. But there's also an element with Temperance as well of waiting, of patience, of things having to be the right time. But there is a magical quality here as well. Almost like saying that this is a kind of, you know, this is a fated relationship, shall we say. Like I was saying earlier, if you think you can escape, you're wrong. You're wrong. It will just keep coming back. You can't escape. Not until it's dealt with. That's if you want to escape. If you don't want to escape, then it's fantastic. It's a brilliant. But I get the feeling that somehow even those people who want to escape and feel that they have escaped may be in for a bit of a shock and a bit of a surprise, because this other person, Taurus, may well have not given up. That's kind of what I'm feeling. So the card that came out with the Ace of Pentacles, which is moving away, the energy that's kind of leaving, is the Four of Cups. And the Four of Cups is saying literally that there has been a time where either you, Taurus, or the other person, whoever the other person is, the Cups energy always represents their emotions, the Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces energies. But it doesn't necessarily have to be. It can just be that, you know, this is the card of the Four of Cups. And these three cups, the cups he's kind of more aware of, shall we say. And this cup here that is kind of coming out of the sky and is divinely being handed, which is again why I said, you know, I really strongly believe that this is a fated relationship. It's just fated. It's almost like, you know, come on, wake up, it's here. Wake up, open your eyes, wake up, it's there, it's waiting for you. Take it, grab it. Stop dwelling in the past. That's over. That's finished. That's gone. Gone. Ended. Time to move beyond that. To really look at what you have. Which is this chance of a fantastic soul relationship. A real deep soul relationship. A relationship on a deep level with somebody here. But because this is in the past, I do get the feeling with the Temperance card as well, and the fact that what we have in between the Queen of Cups and the Page of Pentacles is the Four of Wands. And the Four of Wands, to me, I know a lot of people see this as the kind of marriage card, the celebrationary card. For me, it's also a card of being a challenge as well. It's like something, you know, things don't just come easy. But it is to do with foundations, to do with long-lasting, things that can be long-lasting, because the four is always a good, solid foundation. So this is built on a good, solid foundation. And there can be more. That's what this is saying to me. And it's going to come back in. It's coming back in. There is no escape from this until it's been dealt with. But this could lead to marriage. It could lead to long-lasting family happiness. Which is what both of these two here want. Really, if they're going to be completely honest and open with each other, which is what the Temperance card is saying. Come on, be open, be honest, talk to each other, get that communication flowing. Otherwise, nothing can be achieved. There will be no real growth in this relationship until that happens. But then this will come through. This is the this is the potential, shall we say, that is there waiting in the wings. So I'm going to pull one more card, although I do think that this is a really lovely reading for you Tauruses out there. Lovely, lovely reading. Yeah, very Scorpio in Libra energy. It does amaze me how accurate it so often is, and how accurate the cards are, the reflection of the two. So the last message that we have here, we have the Page of Pentacles again. So it really has come out. I mean, this is 3 times now. Because this one came out twice. So this is the 3rd time we've got the Page of Pentacles. And to me, it's really saying, come on, grow. Time to grow through this. Time to grow. It's time to stop allowing yourself to be stunted here in this relationship. Stop holding it back. Stop making excuses even. And get on with it. Get on with it. Nurture it. Grow it. Turn it into something beautiful, long-lasting. Good, strong foundations. And the other card that came out with this card is the King of Cups. So for many Taurians out there, I would say you probably are dealing with a water sign, because Taurus, being an earth sign, attracts water signs. Water signs love earth signs love water. I'm not saying that they don't get on with anybody else. They do. But there is something about earth and water that kind of works really well. Maybe one stabilizes the other as well, and the other one kind of gives the other one an ability to flow and be a little bit more open-minded, because Taurus, well, all the earth signs really can be very fixed, very set in their ways. And the water signs, because they are literally more kind of flowing and fluid and liquid, they are cardinal signs that are more kind of, well, the Cancerian is a cardinal sign, and they're more, but they are more changeable. They're more changeable. They're more adaptable, shall we say. More adaptable. So it could be that this energy, as it comes in, is also something, I've just realised as well, we have the King and the Queen of Cups. This is definitely a relationship that is benefiting each other emotionally. Emotionally, you understand each other so well, and you can give to the other so well, but there has been difficulties in the past. But I do feel that that's over. I do feel that something has shifted, and that there is going to be this new growth, just this complete new growth. Is building a future together. Let me just try and grab this one as well and get all of these cards together. Building a future together. A happy, long-lasting, victorious future together. And so the last card that I like to end on is a Ask and It Is Given card, which is all about manifestation and how you manifest and why you're manifesting the way you manifest, what it is that you are manifesting in some sense. And it's done by Esther and Jerry Hicks, and Esther Hicks kind of channels, sorry, my camera just moved. Esther Hicks channels an entity known as Abraham Hicks, and Abraham Hicks is all about manifestation. He's all about kind of cutting edge science, if you like. It's a kind of new way of understanding how we kind of law of attraction bring things into our reality by what we're putting out there. And so this card that I got for you, Taurus, is whatever I can imagine, the universe can deliver. So this is a big message, Taurus. This is a big, big message. And for me, because of all of this as well, it's kind of saying, you know, imagine your happy relationship. Imagine your, you know, your two hearts working together. Because if you can imagine that wonderful relationship, you can create it. And so it says, if you have the ability to imagine it or even to think about it, this universe has the ability and the resources to deliver it fully unto you. For it is like a well-stocked kitchen with every ingredient imaginable at your disposal. So there you go. Cook up something good. Cook up something tasty. Something that you're going to enjoy being a Taurian. So I'm just laughing because I know how Tauruses do love their food. They love the good things in life. Good relationships, good sex, good food, good wine, good company. So this is what this card is saying. I'll just turn it over for you so you can snapshot it if you feel like it. And so I'd like to say thank you very much for listening to my video, and if you would like to have a personal private read, because this is just a general read, it's not going to resonate for every Taurian out there, my email is in the description box below as well. You can email me and I will get back to you, and we can kind of discuss what it is that you are wanting with a reading. And I've also managed to put my PayPal link on my channel as well, so anybody who wants a private reading can pay through PayPal to make that easier. And anybody who'd like to offer a donation, maybe, that would be really good as well, keep the channel going. And I think that's everything for now. Thank you very much for being here. Please, sorry if I forget, can you like this video, thumbs it up, subscribe to me. I'm trying to grow the channel, so if you think that this will be of help to anybody else, any other Taurians that you know, or anybody you think that's in a similar situation, share it on, please. Also comment if you feel like it, and tap the bell so that you can get previous videos as and when I put them out. Thank you very much again, Taurus. Take care. Bye bye.